So I'm here at COP30 in Belém in the north of Brazil. It is very hot, which is probably why I look a bit damp. I just wanted to put to bed three little myths that are kind of doing the rounds in coverage of COP30 so far. The first is the idea that the big hitters aren't here. Sure, the US isn't here, but that's normal. They pulled out of the Paris Agreement. They leave in a few weeks' time. So for the first time in history, they have sent no delegates. India, though, they are here. They've got 87 delegates here, and they were represented at the Leaders Summit last week. And China, who many have said are not here either, not only are they here, but they actually have the second biggest delegation at this, the second biggest COP there has ever been. They've got over 700 delegates here. And what's more, the Vice Premier of China was at the Leaders Summit last week. Secondly, it's been said that, well, if the US isn't here, then what's the point? Well, the point is that everybody's getting on with it. 195 parties to the Paris Agreement minus one equals 194, not zero. And actually, all the conversation at the Leaders Summit, all the conversation here at COP is about multilateral action to tackle climate change, to get on with it. What's more, sub-state actors from the US, so cities and states and companies, are here in huge numbers. And evidence has just come out yesterday to show that with all of those sub-state actors working together and with the US perhaps getting their act together after Trump leaves office, then actually the US could still get to 55% emissions cuts by 2035 anyway, which is pretty good news. And the third thing is people are saying, well, COPs, they don't do anything. What's actually being achieved? Okay, but 10 years ago, the Paris Agreement came into being. And in that 10 years, a huge amount has changed. We were on track for 4 degrees centigrade of warming this century before the Paris Agreement. We're now on track for something more like 2.5. Not great, still very bad, in fact, and still a big gap between 1.5. But actually, that emissions growth has slowed fivefold. And in the same time, renewables have taken off. The costs have plummeted. Deployment has grown. It now provides about 40% of electricity globally. Renewables, the clean energy markets globally are worth 2.2 trillion, twice as much as fossil fuel markets. China accounts for a third of that investment each year. And we are very much, there is very much momentum towards that clean transition. And that's what the Paris Agreement has achieved. And that's what the job of all the leaders here is, to accelerate that transition, to close that gap and keep on acting to tackle climate change.